Good morning, everybody. It is so great to see all of you. It's morning. It's Saturday. It's time to be refreshed. It's time to talk about a great project upcoming. So, everybody, this is Super Saturday. We have multiple interviews today. I might even surprise you a little bit later on with some fun stuff, possibly some comedy, possibly some news. I've definitely been working with a couple of different outlets out there to get my hands into some hot news. So if you know anybody that has some great news, even if it's local, if it's hometown, if it's big, come my way. So that is ecooperstudios@gmail.com. Before we get to our very, very exciting guest, I mean, this is, if you like action, if you like superb cinematography with great sound, great picture, great lighting, perfect coloring, I've got the guy for you. He has a wonderful film that we're going to talk about in just a moment. I have Pure Lift. Pure Lift is our sponsor of the day. Let's put their information up here on the screen. So Pure Lift are these. They're little stir sticks. You just pop them directly into your drink. You have an amazing little uplifting taste to your water, but it's not going to be overpowering. Actually, I had Eric Elfstrom on the show in season 1, and we talked about Pure Lift because he was my very first sponsor for the Caffeinated Cooper show. And I, of course, broke out the brandy and the whiskey and the vodka, and I threw these things in there because these are great. Like, have you ever gone out on a girls' night, guys' night, whatever, and you're at the bar and you really want like something, a good wine, but it's going to make you sleepy? Not with Pure Lift. So Pure Lift is clean caffeine and great energy, great taste, convenience in one product. You can pop these in your little purse, you can put them in your pocket and go. They're the equivalent to a tall cup of coffee. They'll energize anything. So you can put them into baked goods. You can sprinkle them on top of your muffin in the morning, put them in your coffee. It does not matter because they're not bitter. They are refreshing. This one right here, the white one that you see in the picture, in the middle, is unflavored. And then they have lime, they have a berry, and they have orange. So there are flavors for everybody. Go to purelift.com. Let me pull that up to the screen so that we can see how to spell it because it is spelled just a little bit differently. It is PURELYFT, purelift.com. Full of vitamin B to give you a little extra buzz, especially in the morning, right? Saturday morning, we need a little Pure Lift. All right, so thank you so much to our sponsor. We will be bringing them back up at the end of the show, just in case you didn't have a pen and paper to be able to write down. PURELYFT.com. You can buy Pure Lift on their website. You can also get it on Amazon, and they do have it at Walmart. So enjoy your Pure Lift, and thank you so much to our sponsor. All right, so this morning I have Scott Lawrence. Scott Lawrence they're in production with a really, really cool film. I love films that, number one, I can't guess the ending. So the plot is like just amazing. It's really, really good writing. And then it gives you some action. So if you want to pop some popcorn and sit down with your boyfriend, your husband, your brother, whatever, and watch a film that's going to engage him, but is also going to engage her, this is the film. And without any further ado, I would like to bring into the broadcast Mr. Scott Lawrence. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Elizabeth. I am great this morning. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and your lovely and wonderful audience.
Well, thank you so much. I am so thankful that you have some time for me this morning so that we can talk about a film that is in production. We talked about some bits and pieces that are confidential and we are not going to release to the public. So you have so many surprises in your pocket with this film. So this film, you play some huge roles in it because you're director, writer, you are actor, and stuntman.
Yes.
You also have a lead female that has done a lot of work. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about the film, The Redemption of Frankie.
The Redemption of Frankie is a new age gangster action thriller. It has redemptive qualities as suggested by the title. And what's meant by that? It's new age. This is gangster. This is Cosa Nostra gangster story with a heart. It has, we have a stone cold hitman killer who is led to a crossroads from his family being executed and him not wanting to be a hitman anymore, but it's all he knows. So he says just one more to his wife all the time, and that continues regularly until his work catches up with him, and rival gang comes looking for him in his home and ends up executing his wife and his daughter. At that point, Frankie says enough. He's gonna be a hitting man no more. Now, since he happens to be the nephew of the Don of L.A., Don Anthony Salvatore of L.A., he's given a little bit of a pass. You know, any other hitman in Cosa Nostra law, you will find you don't walk away. There's no walking away. I had enough. They have you swimming with the fishes. But
Mm.
in this case, since he's the nephew, he gives him a pass and he allows him to go. And for 4 years, he's just a shooting instructor at a gun range. But 4 years later, Don Salvatore has suffering from leukemia. His son Junior, who's a wild seed, gets himself in trouble. He goes down chasing after a degenerate gambler, and he goes too far, and we have what you call the Red Eye Saloon Massacre, where he kills him and realizes that there's a room full of witnesses, and he kills everyone.
Wow.
That's
So for somebody who doesn't know what a Costa Nostra is, that is, I know what it is. I know you know what it is. And
right.
I'm sitting here, I've got to say, people are probably watching this description where you're talking about, he goes in and kills a guy's wife and kills a guy's daughter. And I'm sitting here grinning. I love action. I'm an action junkie. But Costa Nostra, go ahead, take it away. Tell us what that is.
There's it begins with a heinous murder that they think everyone is killed. But when Don Salvatore pays off and gets the police reports, finds out what's going on, there's one set of footsteps that are not accounted in the grease in the kitchen, on the kitchen floor, that are not accounted for with the bodies. So they realize there's some witness that's live. Now, they don't know who it is, but and without giving away too much, I'd like to say it turns out to be that the bar manager, okay, played by Megan Henry in a brilliant role, she brings in her daughter when the manager's not there for a little part-time work in the kitchen. She has a 16-year-old daughter named Addison, and Addison's in the back frying bacon while everyone's having a good time, having their drinks and partying in the bar. Well, when Junior machine guns everyone in the bar, and the last one, her mother, she hides out in the back of the kitchen, and Junior never notices. So Don Salvatore gets the word that there is one witness that can bring down his whole family, and the only thing he can think of is to turn to his historic best hitman, which is Frankie DeMeo, his nephew. Suddenly, Frankie gets a phone call on the shooting range telling him, you got to come back. The Don tells him, I need you. The family needs you. The whole family's at stake. I need you to come find the witness. One last job for me. Do one last job, and you don't have to be a shit kicker on the as a shooting instructor making no money forever. I will give you real money to retire. So he's offered $500,000 out of the deal if he comes in, whacks the one witness, and saves the family. He doesn't want to do it, but his arm's twisted, and he does. Okay,
Wow.
this begins where it's the thrilling and chilling part of the story, as Frankie DeMeo, the hitman, goes looking. He's acting like he's a cop, so he can detect who the witness is. And it doesn't take long before he finds that the witness is a 16-year-old girl, and he has located her. He comes to the house. He speaks to the stepfather, and he's there. He's ready. All he has to do is whack the girl, and I guess whack the stepfather. He walks out. He never has to kill again, and he'll go pick up money he's meant to deliver it and take out his part, which is $500,000 to ride off into the sunset with. Well, everything seems like a simple, easy thing, but when Frankie gets there, he flashes, he looks at the girl, he grabs for his gun behind his back, and he has an epiphany. He flashes back on his own daughter, and his guilt is too much. He cannot kill this girl. So very quickly, they find out that there's another, totally more vicious hitman who's been sent out by Don's son, Junior himself, who has his own ambitious ideas about taking over the family. He dispatches a killer named Sal Palermo, who starts stalking two of them. Now, when Frankie DeMeo realizes that, he switches over, a total epiphany. He switches over, becoming to the protector of the witness, because he can't let this young girl be murdered. And now we have a chase ensue. We have
very, very interesting. So much detail. And of course, I don't want you to give away the whole story, of course,
no.
but wow. See, that's why I like what I've seen so far. What I was able to see, because this is still in production, was the amazing sizzle trailer that you have out there. Would you mind if I shared with our guests the trailer?
I would be proud. I'd love them to see the trailer.
Okay. All right, here we go. Bear with me for just a moment. And this is The Redemption of Frankie by Tiger's Eye Pictures.
Killed two of my best men. Took off all of our products. Not for nothing.
So to get to the plan, do a real Thursday. We're not looking to cause a war or anything like that, so you gotta handle this just so. You can count on me, Uncle Tony.
It's just one more, right?
Just one more. I'm Detective Miller.
So what do you need to know?
If there was anybody else there before and after the crime scene.
Art distress.
You know the guy that killed your mother? He's a prominent mob boss's son. They need to think you're dead.
How can I help you? Can you get anything?
It reminds me of my mom's.
Is it done? I'm Frankie DeMeo, and I'm not a cop. They hired me to find you.
You were supposed to kill me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Seems like you weren't in control when your wife and daughter got killed, Frankie. I know what you're trying to do. And it's not working.
Really nice. Now that was Brandy Roderick as the young lady, correct?
Yes.
She did a beautiful job. Everybody, you may know Brandy Roderick from Baywatch. She spent some time on Baywatch. She's done many other major roles in film and television. That was a beautiful job. That's a beautiful piece for your sizzle reel as well. I mean, the coloring, just everything, lighting, everything sets the mood. Isn't that wonderful about making a film? What is your best feature of the film? What is it? The writing? Is it the acting? Is it just everything that goes on behind the scenes? I mean, you've got a little bit of everything. You have stunt, you have weaponry, you have the high-speed cars. All of that is so intricate to film. What's your favorite?
Well, the action is always really exciting. It's got to be, everything has to line up properly. So, and it's very frenetic, and I enjoy that part. I enjoy how I enjoy how the characters come together when you have action sequences, because it's various lives colliding and they have different purposes and perspectives and different values. So action sequences are very exciting. I enjoy the tight, dramatic ones as well, because, in filmmaking, what's most important, more important than locations, more important than settings, is the human interaction. It's always about how people relate to people and how the human experience goes forward. That's the journey you're sharing of the characters. So, frankly, I'm very intense about what I do with my art, and every frame is equally intriguing to me, whether it's simple, it's exciting. It's got to be poignant, it's got to be captivating, and it's got to be riveting. That when you're making an action thriller, you want everyone to relate to your hero, you want or to your villain, but you want them riveted into the action. And
Mhm.
this movie will keep you, except for a few meetings, as you see in the opening there, where he's got to get his marching orders to go do go do that assassination. The movie is frenetic; it moves all the time. What will ensue thereafter is nationwide, cross country cross country chase,
Mhm.
because Frankie wants to take this girl to her only living relative in Vermont, and they're starting in Temecula, California. That's about as far diagonally across the country as you can get. They take two paths, not unknowingly, because they lose track of each other, but they meet up in Vermont. As you can see in the trailer, Sal Palermo gets there first because he doesn't want to kill them. He wants to capture them. So he sets a trap with the aunt. That's her aunt with the throat cut and put into the trunk, the front of the truck hood, and she gets pulled out. That's how he surprises them in Vermont.
Mhm.
So
Very interesting.
I I won't give away too many surprises, but
Yeah,
that one.
no, no, I don't. I feel so bad that I'm cutting you off, but I don't want you to give away any surprises. So let's
I,
talk about how this film is still in production and you are still casting for a few roles. I'm gonna
yes.
pop up your email on here, but tell us a little bit about whatever you can tell us, of course, about what you might be looking for and how they can contact you.
Okay. We are casting for a few scenes that are need that this movie got interrupted with COVID, Elizabeth. It's been held up in its production, so we still have a few scenes left. We're basically past, one step beyond post production. We have scenes that we're shooting that will shot in Vegas. We have scenes that will be set in Afghanistan. We have scenes set in Hawaii, and we have a few more scenes. We will be looking for some gangster types, okay, in terms of men, and they always follow with beautiful gangster malls. So we will be looking for that because they like their malls around them, and we will be casting for a child. We will need, and we have several name brand A-list stars that we are bringing in for these scenes as well. So it's very what's left is very exciting. It's some of the more intriguing scenes that I've written and looked forward to. So anyone interested in being an extra or being in Vegas as a visitor to one of the casinos or just a gangster, we will be putting out a nationwide casting call for that, and that's coming soon.
And so to be able to find that breakdown, would it all just strictly be through breakdown services where we need to contact our agent and have our agent access it? Or are they able to email you directly? And if so, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the manager's information to then carry on that conversation? Or are you accepting resumes? Tell us a little bit about what people could email you about.
We, Tiger's Eye Pictures. We are a union house. We do SAG feature films, so we are looking for SAG members as a priority. Secondary to them, beyond them, we then will take people that are not union members, but we are very much a union house, and we support that. So we encourage SAG members, they can send in all their information to Tiger's Eye Pictures at gmail.com. We'll be very happy to sort through and see who we can include. That over the next few months, because we will be filming those scenes beginning in November, and so got 2 months to put in a good word for yourself and see what we can do with our casting. This, as I said, is a new age gangster film. So there is going to be a different feeling at the end of this movie than you've ever found. There are twists and turns that will light you up while you're getting thrilled with action and the threatening events of having hitmen everywhere, in which composes most of this movie. And we've got this 16-year-old girl, and she's played by Alicia Ivanhoe, and she gives the performance of her life. Wonderful. Our ensemble is brilliant. Our storyline is exciting and new age in every regard. So we love to bring out, when you can bring out the new age philosophies of our company, which is to sort of love, hope, health, and happiness, and you can infuse that into a gangster. A Cosa Nostra gangster means that they are Italian mafioso gangsters, by the way.
I looked it up. I'm so glad you got to that. I looked Sicilian. Is that right?
Yes, they're generally, they weren't always, but the Sicilians became the powerful ones. Originally, they came from other areas of Italy, but yes, they're very much Italian. And nowadays, when you say Cosa Nostra, that means they can trace your roots of your family to Sicily, and they know who you are.
I love it.
So that makes.
I love it.
So it's.
Well, I think our cup is completely full, and I have another question that I want to get to. So, the Redemption of Frankie, check it out. Look into it. Have your agent check breakdown services, because casting calls will be coming for many, many roles. So you have a couple of them that you are set aside for some A-list actors for some of the lead parts, but there are many, many supporting parts filming all over. So check it out. Go to tigerseye.productions.com. And that's the question I want to get to. So let's talk for a moment about Tiger's Eye. And I'm sorry, I think I said productions, pictures, Tiger's Eye Pictures. I'm bringing up your logo here for the production house, Tiger's Eye Pictures. Tell us a little bit about what is to come in the future. Is this the main project that you are focusing on, or do you have anything else in the works?
I thought you'd never ask. I'd love to tell you what we're doing. At Tiger's Eye, we are very diverse. This is a gangster action thrill, new age. But right behind it, we have amazing TV series that's coming out. You couldn't get further in the other direction. It's called Mermaid Tales of Hope, Health, and Happiness. And we do in fact have a magical mermaid star, and her name is Yasmina Ayala. She has not only helped craft, create, and write this series, but she is the star. She is the mermaid herself, and the mermaid brings beautiful, glad tidings to city after city. It's part business correction, and part total enchantment. So it's a brilliant series, and we have that in production now. Right behind it, we've got a big international comedy that'll be global and with international stars, big production. Frankie's Redemption, the Redemption of Frankie, has been more of a low budget. I mean, we started out on a low budget production, but now we're up at like 19 million. We're far beyond low budget, but the comedy that we've got in the works coming behind. After you do a movie full of killers, it's really nice to have some comedic relief. So we've got a brilliant mermaid feel-good TV series coming out, and I want you to look for that. It will be nationwide. And also, this is going to be a $50, $60 million movie, and it is totally feel-good. It's called Always Satisfied with the Best. So it's one that will appeal to kids of all ages, you and I included, and everyone across the globe. We write for everyone in the world, hoping that we can capture the entire world audience. We don't like to neglect anybody, and we love every genre, Elizabeth. So I've got 15 movies in the queue, in various stages of pre-production and development at the moment, but those are our big three that are coming soon. And I hope all your audience, all your fans will become our fans and look for our productions regularly.
I have a question from one of our viewers, Rosanna. Rosanna is asking, is the mob movie expected on big screen? What is the distribution for The Redemption
Okay,
of Frankie?
that's a wonderful question, Rosanna, because right now, as things go in the post-COVID and not necessarily post-pandemic environment, it's as the historic modality is to go big release on theatrical basis. We are looking for that. We have talked to various distributors who have interest. I can't really disclose, but they're very interested in putting this in over 15,000 theaters worldwide for its opening weekend. And the only thing that will come down, the movie will be released. We're going to take this movie to the film festivals. So you will get an opportunity to see it before it's released. We will end up in Cannes in July of 2023. And right out subsequent to that, we will be releasing it. We are aiming right now, Rosanna, to put it on the big screen. I'd love to have a theatrical release all over. We will be having premieres all over the country and potentially a few places in the world as well. And we will be looking to be in theaters worldwide. If not, we will be a big sight to see on the multiple platforms. So, and you'll see us on the platforms eventually anyway. But yes, we are expecting to see this on the big screen in a grand theatrical distribution. So yes, that's what the Redemption of Frankie is being geared for. And it is in fact, I have to qualify it. Only I feel bad that the circumstances being what they are with COVID. We don't know, there's places that have theaters shut down completely.
Mm-hmm.
We have producers for the company in Australia. I don't think you can get into movie theaters in Australia for a while. So there's places like that around the world that gratefully we don't have that here. The Bond movie has opened up to a grand reception. So, we intend to follow in their footsteps and give you one grand box office opening, and that you can expect in probably the summer or fall of 2023, depending on when the distributors want to put it. Okay.
Well, great. That was a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. And the expected year was my next question. So thank you for covering that. I'd love to have you on possibly next year or right before it's about to release. It's had a couple of runs at some festivals, and talk to you again to see how is it doing, how is it being received. I think it's going to be received wonderfully. I mean, it is a beautiful sizzle piece at the moment. And that's sort of like the sparkly bow that sits on top of a really meaty project. So I'm in love with the sparkly bow. I want to see the meaty project. I can't wait. So I want to say thank you so much for having some time for me this morning and telling us about the Redemption of Frankie and telling us about Tiger's Eye Pictures. You have your hands full. And
I am a busy guy, yes, and I am so glad that I could take some time out to be with you and your amazing audience. And I welcome open arms to come back to you. I will come back with an updated, brand new trailer that will include a whole lot more excitement than this one just suggested. So you can look forward to that, and it will be my joy to share what we've progressed to and let you know where we're going.
thank you so much. I cannot wait. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day down there in Florida. I'm sure it's beautiful and it's sunny just like Florida is most of the year. So enjoy your Saturday. Thank you so much for taking some time out for me.
Elizabeth, thank you. And thank you, audience. You have a grand host. It has been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Wow. Oh, I love my interview segments. All of the guests that come on the show have so much to say, have so many things to tell us about, and really things that will touch our lives. And maybe they inspire us, they entertain us, they educate us. I just love our guests. So I want to close out the show One final comment. Hopefully, Scott is still watching. Rosanna says, thank you. So, thank you so much for his wonderful answers to our guests. Please always remember you can comment, you can share. We have a couple more people. It looks like people are waking up a little bit later this Saturday. Stay with us. I have another interview to come in the next hour or so. We will be talking to Mike Skill of the Romantics, if you remember the Romantics, about let's see, What I Like About You, Talking in Your Sleep, all those great hits that are still being played, and they're still touring. They're still coming back together and playing their music. So we're going to talk to Mike and find out what he has going on. I am looking for my stuff that I hid away. I'm one of those people that puts things away too soon. But I want to give one more shout out to, oh, I don't know, maybe something that has me buzzing early on a Saturday morning after a late night. I have to tell on myself, and my neighbors caught me. This is a funny little story. So I was on the roof last night. My kids are camping. They're Boy Scout camping. So I'm batching it, right? Like, when do I ever get to batch it? So I drank some wine and thought, this is not good. We're a week before Halloween and I haven't had a chance to decorate. So I grabbed some life-size skeletons and dressed them up and threw them on the roof last night. And Pure Lift definitely helps that, because you can put, let's try to get this lit here. You can put your Pure Lift into anything. It energizes anything. It has clean green coffee bean caffeine that they extract and they use for their powder, which that's what this is, which is why you can put it into baked goods. You can put it into coffee. You can put it into hard liquor if you want to. Wine works really great. You might over decorate your house though. Disclaimer. So I want you to go try Pure Lift. Go onto their website of Pure Lift. That's PURELYFT.com and get yours today. Everybody have a wonderful Saturday morning. I'll see you in about an hour. Take care. And as always, remember, you are blessed. We are blessed. Mwah. I love you.